You're an adult now. You'll grow stronger over time, but your personality is no longer as mutable as it was when you were young. Onward to adulthood. Up, people talking to me. Blah. Something about a katana. Oh my. Yeah, apparently my friend's playing Skyrim. How neat. I will be playing that later too, maybe. Maybe. Let's explore. You find a red hood and a basket in the middle of the forest path. A human house is nearby. Funny, you never noticed it before. There's a white picket fence out front. Circle the pretty little house. There's a great deal of blood in the yard, all of a half-dead wolf coughing weakly. What happened? Woodcutter's friend. You can't trust them. Beware their axe is even worse than knives. And the wolf finishes dying. I've done being ferocious for now. You're not sure if you're respecting the human capacity for killing or the wolf's perfectly timed last words. Before you can come to a decision, you've grown bored. Eat it. You haul the strangely heavy carcass back home. And Elder points out a sewn-up gash down the wolf's belly and say it was good work. It was someone else. The Elder's impressed with your honesty and says so. You open the gash, find stones inside the wolf. How odd. I will develop my other skills. A flock of geese are in the square. No, honk! One can talk, honk! Above the den, honk! I'm not good at geese noises. Nashka screams. Last one to drive away is the loser, and she's on that human scooter she found. Sabotage. You poke a stick into the scooter's wheel spokes. Nashka pitches forward to the geese, who fly off. A passing Elder declares a draw, and Nashka leaves her for squeaky bent scooter. There's a goat. A squirrel hops into a pool of sunlight, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, ready to bury nuts and make something of itself. You drop on it from a branch, grab it and twist its head off. Delicious decapitation. A young wolf suddenly leaps in front of you, snaps the squirrel out of your claws, and runs off, laughing and barking. Turn the tables on him. A second squirrel keeps up and pokes the discorporated head of the first one. You grab the new squirrel and chew on it, a little thinking. Come here. You dangle the squirrel of your maw, waiting. The wolf tries to steal it, as planned. You slash her with your claws and she flees, having learned not to mess with you again. You scoop a big fish from the forest stream. As you're about to bite into it, it says, Wait! I'm magic! I can grant you a wish. I don't think you're lying. All I wish is for something to eat, you snarl, and the fish realizes what you mean as you bite into it. A pack of monsters set out to capture the honeybees, a special swarm that carries its hive along with it, in small pieces. The sweet odor of rich honey is everywhere on the forest trails. Onward! Blistery says, Me first, and I'm not sharing either. It's every monster for herself today. Nashka nods and flexes her claws as everyone splits up. Lunge! You brush aside the swarm and return home with a delicious honeycomb. Even better, it's studded with crunchy bees. A few hundred stains are a small price to pay for this sweetness. Let's do some chicken. As you explore the whale nest, you notice that the air smells faintly of gingery bread. There, ahead, there's a flock of very fat birds pecking a trail of crumbs that winds through the trees. Follow it. It leads along twisting paths you never knew existed. Deep in the forest, you come across to a rickety human house, which smells of baked goods. Your human speech. Two children are babbling nearby. Examine them. Humans and children look tired and very thin, but their bellies bulge as though they've just eaten a huge meal. They're so weak that you don't fear for your life being so close. Eat them! The children emerge from the house as it begins to burn. The girl looks back as an older human starts to scream and sigh, and you make your move. The boy is too slow and tired to respond. Oh yes, so delicious, so very good, such a rare treat. The girl turns back as her brother's hand slips out of hers. She sees you. She blinks, not sure whether you're real or not. Continue the meal before she can react. The girl's eyes widen as you spread your claws. She slaps you, and it hurts. It hurts worse than a slash on the claws of the oldest monster. You spin and knock her down, then move it in to end the fight before she can end you. We'll take home to share. You walk into the oven with a bulging belly smelling of meat and gingery bread. Every monster you meet gets a little something to put in the larder. And toes. Toes for everyone. The spine doctor has asked you to catch a special fox. It limps, she says, and it coughs. I need it quickly, if at all. After it! You go forth to the forest, trailing the fox. As you get closer, you catch a glimpse of its ragged ears between two trees. The fox is limping. Slowly. Get closer. As you draw near, you smell something sickly sweet. The fox slumps and vomits green matter onto the forest floor. Your claws tremble at the thought of touching it. Chase it, but wash your claws. I don't want to get sick. Unfortunately, the fox easily loses you in the whale mist while you're washing your claws in a stream. You're not absolutely sure it was there at all. Could you have imagined seeing it earlier? Probably not. But regardless, you return to Omen in shame. The doctor says nothing, but other monsters point and whisper in the street. We'll do a bit of politics. Monsters are gathered around the skull pole. They invite you to dance with them. Huh? A few monsters die without dissolving themselves in the communal spawning pit. Right? And other monsters save the heads of the deceased and hang them on the skull pole. The skin and flesh turn to slime, eventually leaving only bone. Oh. And monsters just gather around the skull pole and they invite you to dance with them. Okay. The only problem is, you've never done the skull dance and not everyone is watching you. Imitate what someone else does. They're all looking at you. Right at you. Expectantly. Fine. You move closer to the skull pole. And try to show some respect to the skulls. You dance slowly and somberly, not quite sure what to do, but doing it with dignity. When you finish, all the other monsters howl with approval. Cool. Wow, chickens are back in season. As delicious as they are mean. They're loose and within the whale mist, and the other monsters are all hunting them down. Let's hunt! Deep in the woods, you're looking for a chicken scratch when you literally stumble over a hen guarding a cluster of chicks. The hen clucks and caws at you. Fight! Though the clucking makes your blood turn cold, you seize the great hen and fight until you're both a mess of feathers and blood. The victory is savory. Nashcash cheers so hard that two chickens he hasn't killed yet escape her grasp. A small pack of elder monsters are huddled at the edge of Omen, watching the woods and discussing something in hushed tones. Listen. Elder Hamrag is saying, this could simply be a rumor. We don't know they're out there for sure. What's going on? Hamrag says, some of the younger monsters have seen others in the whale mist. Monsters from no town we know of, thin and cold, without food or shelter. Everyone be on guard. That much is obvious, dunderhead. If we see strangers, we should drive them off or kill them. The other elders don't seem so sure. So I guess I wasn't very good. You show your newest collection of human artifacts to your neighbors. They seem suitably impressed and listen in. Say more. The truth is, you just found them in the woods. But no one seems so interested it would be a shame to let them down. Monsters do love a story, so you could stretch the truth. Lie big! And you spin a web of clever lies, describing how you took the artifacts right out of the hands of a human and chipped them with a stick, and they fell in a stream and was washed away. How did they react? Everyone replies, believing you completely. Never said I was an honest person. You hear Gritminen telling younger monsters about the human that almost killed him. It's the pointy parts that get you, he says. Listen. Always wait till the knife is pointing somewhere else, then run away. He turns to you and says, isn't that right? Exaggerate it. And spears, you say, are like knives that can fly like birds. Bird swords. The younger monsters cower in fear. And Gritminen scoffs at the obvious fabrication. You and Nashgas encounter the Prowl Bear. This is an honor and a problem. The Prowl Bears kill monsters, something rare in the animal kingdom. He stares at you. Consider the bear. The bear is so potent that it deserves capital letters when being referred to. He shines from within, radiating a light invisible to the eye but plain to the heart. Formulate a plan of attack. The bear seems to read your smallest motion as though you have shouted your intentions. He stands on his hind legs and gives you a little bow. Bow back. The bear nods. Nashka squeals with delight at this exchange of honor. She says, "This is gonna be good." The bear seems to read your smallest motion. Let's go. You leap, making every blow the best you've thrown. The proud bear counters them all, gently trying to end you, until he stops. Suddenly he's lying there before you, helpless. Good fight. You back off to let the bear get up. He bows low to you and then totters off. Back at home, Nashka regales everyone with your stories of your bravery. You spy a wolf pacing outside a small wooden cabin. From within the building you hear the bleating of goat kids. Watch him. As he's trying to get in. He's trying to get in, but the goat kids have barred the door. Is this like Three Little Pigs? I want some goat. Let's work with him. The wolf accepts your offer of assistance. He growls, "I'm glad you're reasonable. Some monsters just attack me." It's the wolf's lucky day then. And the wolf snarls, "Well, how should we finish this hunt? I can block them while you climb. Got any better ideas?" Lure them out with a clever ruse. You and the wolf pretend to fight, going so far as to draw a blow with your jaws and claws, and then run off in opposite directions. Then we lurk. The goat kids emerge from the cabin and leave to escape their fate, and you and the wolf close in on them from your hiding spots. Kill! You slaughter the goat kids and eat them up. The wolf leaves with one carcass in his jaws to share with his pack. You're growing old, my friend. Your body is very soft, and you drip slime everywhere you go. It's getting hard to leave your hovel. Go see the doctor. The doctor tells you that your time is almost up. You'll soon reach the end of adulthood, and you either ascend to elder status or dissolve into slime. What happens to monsters to dissolve? Their bodies melt in the spawning vat, where their memories are nourished the minds of new generations of morsels. What happens if you ascend? Those who manage to ascend become elders and live on to steer the fate of monster kind. Can you stop the process? Here's a treatment that prevents your disillusion. Learn more. The treatment involves an extract taken from the tentacle ferns that grow in the whale mist. Let's do it. You pick a fern, and you wade through the thicket of the sticky green coils, letting them brush against your hide till one latches firmly in place. That means it's ripe, and you snip the fern with your claws. What's that sound? It's little Monchling, trying not to be noticed. Stop for a while. Little Monchling asks, "Why are you dripping so much slime?" You look behind you and see a trail of goopy fluids. I explain. The young Monchling looks terrified at the thought of dissolving. She says, "It's not fair. Animals live much longer than we do, and humans longer still." It's natural for monsters and nothing to fear. You remind her that this is the cycle of life, that it's always been this way. We carry in us the remnants of thousands of monsters who came and went before us. Then you explain about descendants. You point towards Omen, and it's not over for everyone. If the other monsters respect you enough, you can live on to an elder, to share your wisdom directly and help care for the monsterlings. She says, "I like to do that. Is that what you're going to do?" You explain that you have a few more things to do, and then you're going back to the spawning bat. You know what? I'm going to watch her. What? You ate it? There is no medicine. I just wanted to give you a chance to think about it some more. Do you understand? I ought to kick you for that. You scream and look at the doctor. Her spines jab you terribly, but she doesn't fight back with her claws or teeth. You leave her lying on the ground silent, and you race back to your hovel. A group of elders is waiting at the door of your hovel. They've seen your drippings, and it was time for you to dissolve or ascend. Alright, let's go. The elders of Omen surround you at the spawning vat. They built a fire beneath a small cauldron. Your body is squishy and damp. Examine it. The rusty iron cauldron smells like electrical fluid and herbs from the whale mist. It's empty now, but soon it will hold blood and slime from many monsters. Let's try. A masked elder comes forward. She says, "It's time to decide." All the others growl and snarl. The masked elder claws herself. 3 drops of liquid spatter against the hot bottom of the empty cauldron. Thick vapor rises in the air. Was that blood or slime? You can't be sure. Depends on how much she respects you. The masked elder asks, "Who has already decided the fate of this monster?" A few of the others approach the cauldron and add fluid to the collection. Liquid begins to bubble. The masked elder has placed 5 flat stones on the ground before you. Choose one. Chance will guide your victory. Look at the stones. Each stone is stained with old blood and polished by the touch of many a paw. You can't tell one stone from the others. As you reach for the stone, someone shrieks in the distance. All eyes turn in that direction. You realize you can peek under stones if you're quick. No. You wait a moment when the shrieking dies away. All the others turn back to watch you. The other side of the stone is etched with a crude glyph. It shows a monster holding one claw up, speaking intently. The masked elder says, "Ah, honesty. But you've just passed that test." The other side of the stone is etched with a crude glyph. It shows 2 monsters fighting. The elder masked elder says, "We will test your ferocity." 2 launch monsters seize you from behind. They growl and try to pull you apart. "Fight the move!" You flick your claws out and squirm around the face of your attackers. With a blood-curdling shriek, you give each one a face full of slices. They deserve the scars. Several monsters howl their approval and step forward, adding more fluids to the iron cauldron. Charge at the cauldron! You hold the cauldron that contains the pretentious infusion. It's heavy. Look in it. It's quite full, and there's far more blood in there than slime. Drink it. You drink the bubbling concoction, then belch. And how! Your body solidifies almost instantly. You're an elder now. Yeah! You're now an elder. You're welcome to Znak, the oldest of the monster towns. In this stage of life, if you play your cards right, you'll be able to affect both the way monsters view humans and vice versa. Use your powers of persuasion wisely.